morning, Monday the 12th of May, and mowing week today. So as you know, mowing week starts on a Tuesday because we have so many bank holiday Mondays. So obviously there isn't a bank holiday Monday, so Mondays will always be a project or lawn care day, and today it's a turfing day. So we're going back to the client who I did the long strip of seeding, and we're going to go there and we're basically going to turf the front lawn, which over the last 4 or 5 months, that's been the bit where deliveries have been dumped. That's where the builders dumped all the pile of rubbish for the grab lorries. Skips have been there, vans parking. So it's been completely destroyed, compacted, everything you can think of. It's now got some like proper brick paths going through nicely. So actually the rectangle area has now been cut into 3 sections of lawn. So that will be the task for today. We've got a rotavator coming just to fluff the area up. As I say, it's been massively compacted over the last couple of months. So yeah, we'll get the rotavator in there to decompact it, fluff it all up. And then we've got some soil coming up to top up the levels and get everything flush with the brickwork. And then of course the turf as well. So turf and soil supplied by Spooners. So that should be there about 9 o'clock today. I think it's about 8 o'clock now, so no kind of pressure for time. Yeah, and then the usual mowing week. Now, as I say, if you watched the video last week, which actually I put out today because I just didn't find time to get it done over the weekend, on Friday, you could see that lawns were really beginning to burn up. We, however, had some rain yesterday evening, about 9 o'clock, and then I noticed in the middle of the night I got woke up by very heavy rain. So we've had a decent amount of rain overnight, so that's brilliant. So sometimes that's all you need, is just to keep a bit of life in those lawns. Hopefully, I mean, I've no idea if there's any more rain forecast, but we certainly could do with some. It's always amazing, you know, how you can water your lawns with sprinklers and things like that over a period of time, but actually one night of just natural rainfall, the impact is so quick to just kind of green up the lawns. Rainwater is so much better than tap water every single day of the week. So anyways, right, I will see you at the turfing job. Okay, so here's the turfing area that we need to do, and there's 80 rolls of turf. Brilliant. That's not my van. Thought it was for a minute. So it's been rotavated, the client's done that, lots of stones. So we'll get the worst of the stones up, and then we'll start spreading the soil. And it is raining, and as you know, I only turf in the rain. Okay, so the 2 bags of soil have gone out very quickly, too quickly for my liking. We probably could do with some more, so I think we're going to have to, I mean, fortunately it's a big older garden and area, so we're going to have to find some from somewhere else, just for some particular areas where it is a bit too low. But yeah, not bad, ready for turfing soon. Over halfway, the main section of the lawn's done. We're going to have loads of extra turf. The client ordered it, but there you go, there's one half done. We've got this half. This was a flower bed, but we're gonna do this area as well. So you can see I'm starting it off there. So I've gone dark on the way down. I'm going to continue that on, as opposed to having the light on that side, and then follow it on, and then bring it down here, bring it up there, and then it's going to get a bit fiddly, but they've got this open house for their neighbours and stuff at the weekend, so they want it to look the business. So we will give them the lawn to look the business, I suppose. Morning, so it's Tuesday today. Yesterday was spent day turfing. The client was out at the very end, so I wasn't really able to sort of do my little bit of filming at the end because he was kind of just more or less just standing in the way. But I managed to get a little bit of a video now, so what I will do is I will show you yesterday's project, a few sort of highlights from start to finish. I'll show you them now. So there you go, pretty cool. That cottage, just the front bit, kind of reminds me of the Holiday, that movie, if you've seen that. However, today, as I say, is Tuesday, and we are mowing, fortnightly mowing. So Tuesday lawns, lots of small lawns, one sort of good size. Yeah, all local lawns. I haven't actually done the list today to work out how many I've got. It's normally around 10. So, you know, these are lawns you've been seeing fortnightly for the last couple of years. So I won't dwell on them too much. It'd be interesting to see. One of them was seeded. Well, we took the covers off last time I went, so it's had 2 weeks of sort of sunlight and stuff like that. So it'll be good to see how that's reacted. I've also got, if you also remember, I may have shown it in the video 2 weeks ago, while I was at that property, the neighbour came out and she asked me about these holes in her lawn. It is a new build, and I kind of worked out that they'd put the fence in the wrong place, and before the concrete had set, they managed to pull the fence posts out, but leaving the concrete kind of in the holes. So what you had was this perfect sort of square hole in the ground. I filled them in for the client. I didn't charge the client anything. It literally took me 2 minutes to work it out. I had a bag of soil which cost me £2.50. Hey, there you go, have that, and let's spread a bit of goodwill. I hear via my client that neighbour is now looking for some kind of lawn care service. So it's funny what spending £2.50 can get you. So I will pop in on them while I'm up there, which is good, because that means if something was to come of that, I would then have 3 mowing jobs in a row, and that's exactly what you want from this industry, is getting jobs together. If you've watched this video channel for a long time, you'll remember that I used to have, when I was over Hazelmere Way, I used to have a brand new cul-de-sac. I think there was 5 houses in there, and you know, some days they all had sort of different levels of sort of lawn care, but there might be some days when I was doing all 5, and I'd literally park the van up, get the mower out, and just push it from house to house to house, and that was just the most amazing afternoon, particularly when I was still greenkeeping. So as soon as I finished from the golf course, I'd just go to that cul-de-sac, and that would be the rest of the afternoon would just be spent there, and it was perfect. That's exactly how lawn care and a mowing service should be. Just, I'm sure, like window cleaning, if you can just get one street, you're laughing. So yeah, it's always good. And also, that's a new estate as well, so I think there's still people not moved in yet. There's still people just sort of, you know, I suppose when you buy your house, you kind of move in, get your feet under the table, and then you think, right, okay, right, probably shouldn't sort out the back garden. And the great thing about new builds is the lawns are always rubbish. So there could be plenty of work coming from that estate in the future. Right, well anyways, if there's anything notable appears today, I shall stop and film it. Okay, so fortnightly, first one of the day. It's quite long actually. Really needs a scarifying, but I'm at that period now where it's just like, do I scarify it? If we go into sort of a drought now, there's no rain forecast until a week next Friday. However, the rain we did have over the weekend, the weeds in the new patio, the new path, have gone, yes, love that. So we'll spray those off once we're finished. Okay, so this is the lawn I was talking about, where we took the sheeting off 2 weeks ago. Well, there you go, lush green grass, what more can I say? Obviously they've got a dog, so there are dog stains, as you could imagine, but lush and green, very nice. So something has gone wrong. Something has gone very wrong. Interesting. So there we go. Morning. So it's Thursday today. So yesterday I just didn't really have time to film, and my battery was pretty flat actually, because I was in an area of poor service, so it's always searching, but also had to make quite a few phone calls in regard to sorting out all these mowers that aren't working. So currently, Cub Cadet, I am waiting on the coil packs to turn up. I've ordered 2, I only need 1, but you can bet your bottom dollar that the other one will go straight away. They are due tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. I really need it fixed by Monday. I need to use the mower on Monday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do otherwise. 156 Pro that has been at my local machinery maintenance for a while now, so I hurried them up on Tuesday and said I need that mower back, because obviously, as the last bit of footage you saw was the wheel snapping off. That had been bent for a while, and actually I have organised replacement of a new one. So actually, with it snapping off, other than the fact I haven't got a 56, it's not a major problem because the new axle was actually being ordered. And Greg Francis is going to be helping me out with that one, because there's a lot of things going on with it, like it needs a new body because the eyelets are oval now. Other than taking it to an engineer who would then weld it all up and then drill new holes, etc. It's probably cheaper just to get a new one. Greg got me a price on a Toro Pro Stripe deck, which he claimed was cheaper than an actual Toro Hater one. I managed to find a Hater one cheaper, then he managed to find a Hater one even cheaper. So yeah, it's doing this sounds a bit bizarre, but it's because it needs a front axle, it needs, you know, bearings, and not that Hater really sort of has bearings nowadays. It needs a chassis and stuff like that, but actually it's still going to be $1,000 cheaper than buying a new one. So so that's why I'm kind of going down that road. And it is the backup mower, the one which is at the workshop at the moment. That is the newer one, which is only like a, well, it's not, yeah, I suppose it's done a full season over the period, but over a period of 2 years, if that makes sense. So so yeah, once I get that one back, I should be up and running. But what that means for the moment is, other than well, really the only mower I've got at the moment that's currently working is the Time Master and the Hater 41. Obviously I've got the Alco, but you know, why would I use that when I can use this one? And I've got the Ego, but other than that kind of funny bit of lawn, I've got no real need for that either. So this is doing a lot of work at the moment. It's doing all the work that it normally does, plus it's covering for the Cub Cadet, and it's, as of this afternoon, it's going to be covering for the 56 Pro. So what I have done is I'm at this, you've seen this one many times, it's the one with the sunken lawn with the pond in and what have you. I'm going to be mowing there, and yeah, it's, once I've done that, what I have done is brought my sharpener, or my angle iron, my battery one, and a little portable workbench. So once I've finished here, I'm then going to sharpen the blades, because then from then on it's going to be doing formal lawns. I've not worked out what the pattern is I'm going to use, etc., whether it's just dark and light, just to not sort of disturb the Hater stripes that are already in. But yeah, that's the plan for today and tomorrow. Hopefully, as I say, tomorrow, if the parts do show up, I'll be able to get that fixed, the Cub Cadet fixed over the weekend, ready for ready for Monday. If that fails, then we might be looking at using the Time Master again. I've done it before, and it looks like I might have to do it again. So didn't film anything at the last job. I think I took a photo I might include now, and you can see that's coming in really nicely. Now that'd be due a feed now. I'll probably do that next time. Next week I'm doing a bit of feeding here and there, so I'll probably do that one here. I'll show you my normal last one on the Thursday. You can imagine, if you can remember, this was a full renovation, so this is looking really lush, which is good. It's a shame that already the dog burns have started kicking in, and you can see all the little sort of green areas where the dog's been. but that's, you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. They were last week's stripes. The grass is obviously growing because they're watering it. The grass is growing those stripes out really quick. I've got the Time Master, unfortunately / fortunately, so yeah, I'm just going to do a little crazy sort of really wide stripes, because what I don't want to do is get any Time Master stripes in, because next week I'd like to think I'll have some kind of 56, and not just a 56 but a 56 with a brush on it as well, to really start putting the stripes in nicely. It is the front garden, so it's striped up quite nice. So there was a bit of an issue with this, and the client basically said they couldn't water front and back, so they have decided to just leave the front. It's a bit depressing, isn't it? So that section gets it. I guess that section's a little bit more shaded, so it doesn't get as much sun. I tried to put as much water on as I could, but it gets to the point where if the client's not going to be bothered, then why should you? Anyways, right, I'm going to make a phone call to see if one of the 56s is ready, and if it is, I'm going to pick it up, and if not, we should be time mastering tomorrow as well. Friday, so where's the sun? Not a cloud in the sky. So yeah, doing a lot of work today. It's all with the Time Master, so that's 3 lawns, front and back, and I'm going to be picking up another mower. It doesn't work, but it might just get me out of a hole if I can get it fixed, and if the parts for the Cub Cadet don't turn up by Monday. So I should explain more about that nearer the time. Very dry here, very dry, but striped up nicely with the striped and bagged actually with the Time Master. So yeah, all done here. So there you go. It's gonna be a nice day. Yesterday was freezing. Wednesday was really hot and dusty, and then I was sort of prepared for same again, and then yesterday was freezing, but today has it's nice, not too hot. Well, it probably will be this afternoon. I've just had to kind of here, you can see it's drying up really bad, so yeah, just kind of gone dark and light. Didn't want to take the stripes out too much, so not ideal really. On the other one I've gone side to side, but on this lawn I'm not going side to side. I'll be there for hours doing it. I'll show you this lawn now. Burning up. So that's last week's stripes. I basically just ran over with the Time Master just to pick mainly all those leaves up. There's loads of those down, and loads of bits of pollen and stuff from the oak tree. I'm hoping we're not going to have another drought. Good property. This one burning up, pretty normal to be honest for this time of year. This section over here, that bit came back quite nicely actually. If you remember, that was the first seeding job I did in March. Came back quite nicely, but it's burning off as kind of expected. So this hedge creates a load of moss during the winter, but actually keeps things looking pretty green during the summer because of the shade. So there's pros and cons to everything. Again, today I've just gone over with the Time Master, really just to take those leaves, tidy those leaves up, just like autumn, but it always does this time of year. So yeah, Max, let me get the blower while I go there. Back's been striped up with the Time Master again. I'm just cutting side to side because the lawns are so long. I would never cut side to side normally, but because I've got the smaller mower, it's a little bit more agile, easier to turn around. So yeah, back's burning up as well actually. Now you got to remember, I've been here, this is my 11th year? No, 10th year here. So I've seen 2 major droughts, and everything in between. So it's quite lush down the bottom where it's more shaded, but hopefully we just need a little bit more rain, and we'll get it back. But again, these lawns, this is the problem with massive lawns. If you've got small lawns, it's easy to water because you can just set a sprinkler up, and maybe you don't have to move it, maybe you have to move it once or twice. But these big lawns, the client's not got time to get back from work and then start shifting it around. It's not going to happen unless they have irrigation. But again, if we do get into a hot spell, you'll be able to water ban pretty quick straight away. So is it really worth it? And actually, sometimes letting a lawn go dormant is actually the best thing for it, particularly if you've got a lot of annual meadowgrass in there, because what's going to happen is all the good stuff will just go dormant. All the bad stuff will burn up and die away. So what you'll be left with is a patchy lawn, but the stuff you've got left with, the stuff you're left with is good grass. So then you can then just overseed it with more good stuff, and what you've actually done is got rid of all the POA, all the annual meadowgrass, without having to use any kind of weed killer. Again, like the hedge, there's pros and cons to everything. And actually what I'll do is I'll show you now. So one of the new clients that I've taken on in this Friday road, it's a fortnightly Wednesday job, they had a ride-on mower, which, as they've put it, they don't need anymore because I'm cutting the grass. Also, it doesn't work. So essentially what they've said to me is they don't need it, they don't want it, it doesn't work. They've tried, in my local area, the two main dealers slash workshops that I would go to have in the last 18 months closed down. So one closed down, as I say, 18 months ago, and is now a care home, and the other one, the owner has died, and whatever happens, they've closed down now. That's the end of that. So they can't find anywhere local to get this sort of mower booked in to get looked at or whatever. So they've said to me, if you want to try and fix it, you can have it. So anyway, I'll show you it now. And it's an MTD Spider 76 RD. I don't really know a great deal about it. Now, I've used one very similar and it was bloody horrible. But if I can get this working and I can use it on Monday, it's going to get me out of a hole. So it's a 76, so I assume that's 76 centimeters. The Time Master is 75 centimeters, so it's only a centimeter wider, but on a big job you're sitting down, and that is a lot more appealing to me than walking all day. She said to me about how it sort of jumps forward a bit when it's driving, and that's the problem with it. I've sort of, I suppose, put that into Google, and the keyword that others have said is actually surging. So if I look up MTD surging issues, it all seems to be carb related, and that just makes me think maybe there's just some stale fuel in there. So I'm hoping, and actually the carb and everything, it's all very easy to, can you see that in the dark? Everything seems pretty easy to access, which is great because some things are so bloody difficult to get hold of. So I'm hoping it's actually going to be quite an easy fix. I say that knowing that it never is, because it's never a bloody easy fix, but you live in hope, right? So as far as they're aware, it starts, it just, and I'll use the phrase I googled, it surges. Now I've had that when the fuel jet has been a bit blocked with just a push mower, that it's sort of, you hear the revs go, so if that's all it is, that'd be quite a quick fix. The fuel looks really easy to, if there's any stale fuel in there, to get that out. So it just looks really easy to work on. As I say, it's not the greatest mower. It might be that it just becomes a mower that I use to tow things on, perhaps. It looks to me also as if there's a chute which aims stuff down onto the ground if you don't want a bag. If you put the bag on the back, that lifts this up and then that's how it empties. I might try and pull that off for Monday so it just flies out the back. I'll have to experiment with that a little bit. It looks as though there's just some pins there which can come out, slide something out there. I'll have to experiment. Anyways, yeah, so this is essentially it, and if I can get that going, it's not bad for free, is it? Oh, and while I'm here, trailer is still for sale. I've had a few inquiries, but no one has no one's come back at me for it. A few people have asked for price. I've given them a price that I think sort of roughly where I want to be, and no one's come back with a yes or no, even a counter offer or anything like that. So if you are interested in an Eiffel Williams P6E trailer, it's kept indoors, very rarely used, let me know. Okay, Friday afternoon, didn't show you the third one, not a great deal going on. I actually ended up not mowing at all, just doing a bit of tidying up with the blower, and there was a few, one tree in particular, cherry blossom, that I don't really know why, but it's just sort of gone right over almost. All the soil around it's really loose, so I ended up just kind of like pulling it back and trying to stick a stake in as best I could without a sledgehammer. And kind of was what it was. It certainly held it up and supporting it more, but not quite as I'd like. But sometimes you've got to do these things just to get it where you need it. So anyways, I have brought the red, I forget what it's called now, the red mower home. That's now in the garage. The Cub Cadet was in the garage ready to be fixed, but the parts just aren't here yet, so it's just taking up space. So I brought the Cub Cadet to the container. So we've got Cub Cadet waiting for coil packs to be fitted. We've then got Time Master number 1 or number 2 as you look at it. That all works, it just needs to be put back together. The old 3-wheeler, that's going away this weekend to be dealt with and come back. It's going to come back with 2 wheels and a roller, a new shell. Essentially that is a proper triggers broom, that is, because it's already got the old style handlebars on it. Probably the only original part will be the original wheels and the engine. Everything else is going to be brand new on that pretty much. Yeah, so I need to take that one home to fix. Need to take that one home in preparation for getting rid of it on Sunday, I think it's going to be. So this is about the only thing that's working properly of a sensible size. If you remember last year, it had a lot of problems with belts and things going. Touch wood, seems to be running okay. I have got spare belts. It's just been doing the work of that and that. Okay, so that concludes this week's video. Don't really know what's in store next week. It's all weather depending, really. You know, you'd be forgiven for thinking you were in August if you were judging by the lawns. Obviously Monday is the mowing job. Now whether that takes half a day or it takes the whole day at this point in time, I don't know. And then there should be 2 days of lawn care. How that's going to turn out, how that's going to look, I don't know. I would hope to get the springtime stuff all finished this week, but it may just be that, you know, a very kind of light fertilizer goes down and that's it. I can't see that scarifying or doing anything like that is going to be in any way helpful now. So yeah, that's it. And then Thursday weekly mowing and Friday weekly mowing, and in fact yeah, so it is what it is. We shall just play it by ear, but sun's out, so have a good weekend and I will see you in the next video.